So, welcome to How to Define Your Features. This is following on from several beauty lives that I've done, which have touched into how to shop, how to choose the right brand, the right product. And this is now what I want you to do is basically think about your features. Now, I put a twist on a lot of the things in the industry, don't I? I basically make you think completely differently. Because at the end of the day, what's really, really important is you think differently to what the industry have wanted you to do. Last month, we focused on how to choose your products that you're going to buy. So let's just delve back there. Let's go back a little bit and just think about some of the thoughts that people have had. Sure, lots of you sent messages, and I've just picked one, two, three, four here. And at the end of the day, I had a lot. These are just four that I've picked out. The key thing for Shirley was transformation about how she goes shopping. That was absolutely golden to me. If you can think differently about how you go shopping, to not think about, oh, I'm just going to go to the shop and I'm going to say, can you tell me what I need to buy? If you can be armed with that information, which is what I did with my 10 steps before you go shopping to what you're going to decide what you're going to use or buy, you'll then know choosing what you want is far more easier. Francis was obviously completely gobsmacked with the way that I explained how the makeup brands sell to you. When you know how you're being sold to, if you can go armed with the questions and the answers pre-done that you already know what they're going to ask you, then you're going to be streets ahead. You're going to be telling them what you want, not what they want to sell you. From Debbie, she didn't realize or never thought about the fact that the industry actually has several layers of brand pricings. So, for example, we have our budget brands through to our, mass market brands. Then there's our mid-market brands, and then prestige and premium brands. When I first started in the industry, I think there was two. There was mass market and market. Then there was 3, 4, 5, 6. There's so many different layers now. But once you identify what your brand identity is, when you choose those brands, not only will they be thinking how you want them to, which might be vegan or it might be that they're made in the UK, you're also going to be really comfortable with the price because that's all the market research that they do. And Lynn, bless her, at the end of the day, the one liner there, I now enjoy applying my makeup and feel more confident after watching your beauty live. So I'm absolutely thrilled with those results. So let's bring it down to what we're all here for today. How do you define your features? First thing I want you to do, look at those two pictures. Let me see if I can zoom. I don't know if I can on the way that I've done this today. I daren't mess around with it, but let's just look at those two pictures. A very similar eye shape, but the one at the top there has got very bold makeup and the one below is very natural. Now, to me, if you go for the bold makeup look, you see makeup more so than your eye or your feature. If you go for the more natural look, then you'll not notice the makeup so much, but your features will stand out. So if you need to just work out before you even decide what your features are. I want you to think about what type of look do you want. You might be somewhere in the middle. You might be like, well, I like people to see I've got makeup on, but not look too heavy. Or you might be far, far higher than that blue eyeshadow or far more natural than what you've got the lady underneath wearing. So try and think first of all, before you think about your features or what people might determine as your best features, I want you to think about first of all how you like your makeup to be, because that's going to make a massive difference. Step 2, you're going to feel this very uncomfortable for some of you, but it does take work. You need to identify your best features to highlight, because let's face it, if you've got a feature that you don't like, maybe you think your nose is crooked, then are you going to highlight it? No, you're not. Okay, you're not going to draw attention to it. If you have a skin texture that you don't like, are you going to highlight it? No, you're not. The trick with makeup and how makeup artists work is we highlight and focus on the good things, which is not what the industry try and do. How many times do you see advertisements which are based on concealing, camouflaging, correcting? That's the industry, because what they want to do is focus on those negative elements because you're drawn to them. Much harder, you could probably reel off 5 of your things that you don't like about yourself. I guarantee. But if I ask you to reel off 5 things that you love about yourself, you're going to find that very difficult. So here's 3 little things that might be able to help. And if you can come away with one feature that you like about yourself at the end of tonight's session, then I will be very happy. If you can reel them all off and say, these are all good, these are all bad, then great. Self-reflection is where it starts, something that is very, very difficult for us to do. In other countries around the world, they do a lot of self-reflection, self-meditation, self-love, self. They feel very comfortable with it. They put themselves first. But us over here, we seem to find it very difficult to self-reflect on ourselves. And this basically means looking at all those pictures across the top there. You're going to look in the mirror and talk to yourself. And you're going to find out which are those features that you like about yourself. You're going to dig deep because you're going to go, I can't find anything, but you will. So if you can't find anything, what do you then do? And this may see something that some of you actually find even tougher to do. You need to ask other people. If you can't work out yourself what your features are, I guarantee your friends and your family and other people will reel them off. Now, you've got to do a bit of work on yourself to accept that compliment, because for some strange reason, we can't accept it. If somebody even says that's a beautiful dress, we'd probably say, oh, I got it in the sale last year. If somebody even was to comment on something that's not even about us, we'd probably say something that would distract from the fact that it was being focused upon us. So don't hesitate. I'm granting you permission to say to your bestie or your friend or your work colleague or someone else, ask the question, what do you see as something that is a key feature of mine? It might be your hair, might be your personality. Let's start somewhere with something. And then you've got to learn to love them. So you know what? A lot of this is nothing to do with makeup. If you think about it really deep, it's actually a lot to do with yourself. This is the biggest hurdle. It's nothing to do with the brands that you buy, and it's nothing to do with how much you spend on makeup. The biggest thing you've got is, I'm hitting you hard, is you have to work out what your key features are that you're going to love, and basically you're going to draw attention to them. So as you can imagine, this is quite a big hurdle you're having to achieve here. So let's look at step 3, which is going straight into it. How are you going to make those key features stand out? Once you've identified them, let's look at a few of them. Eye shape. Maybe it's your eye shape that you absolutely love. So I'll use my little cursor here because I can't expand. So we've got an eye shape here, and an eye shape here, and an eye shape here, and an eye shape here. Now, they're quite similar looking eyes. There's not much difference in them. Very similar eye colours. But at the end of the day, they're all wearing 3 different types of, or 4 different types of 5 if you look at the ones down at the bottom. This one here has got a little bit of eyeliner on, a little bit of eyelashes, that means. This one here has got a lot of eye makeup on. Over here, we've probably got lash extensions. And over here down at the bottom, we've got that very bold, dark eyeliner. Now, you're based on that step 1 that I asked you to do, which is basically determine how you want your makeup to look. Do you want it to look natural, which means you'll be somewhere here, or do you like to hide behind makeup? You'll be up here. You then determine your look. So if eye shape has been something that yourself or someone else has identified as being really flattering and says you've got beautiful eye shape, you're then going to draw attention to it. The ways that you can do that is you don't actually use colour. So you're not looking at eyeshadow here. You're looking at a neutral colour eyeshadow. We don't want to distract. what we want to do, so up here, you can see there's lots of colour going on here and it blurs the eye shape because when someone looks at you, they're going to look at the eyeshadow colour. You can wear this much eye makeup, but you need to make sure it's neutral colours. So what we're going to be wearing here is we're going to be wearing lots of eyeliner, not too heavy, don't forget, and they're going to be wearing lots of mascara. And the eyeshadow colour that you need to use, if you like your eye shape, is you're going to be using neutral skin tone colours. So that's going to be like your brown, contour type colours. The colours that you've used to contour your cheeks, you're just going to contour your eye and you're just going to make your eye shape stand out. Now, say, for example, eye colour. Maybe both eye colour and eye shape, but maybe it's your eye colour. Maybe you've got piercing blue eyes, or maybe you've got deep brown eyes, or maybe you've got beautiful hazel eyes. What you want to do is make that eyeshadow, that eye make your eye colour stand out. Now, going back into the 80s, what we'd be saying is if you had got blue eyes, what you would do is you'd put blue eyeshadow on. Now, what that does, yes, it makes the area look very blue. And if you've not got very good eyesight, you'll think, yes, I look very, very blue. So here's a blue eye here. If you can see me, this is actually a zoom in of Vince's eye. If you've got blue, then basically what you want to do is use the opposite color. So down here, what I want you to do is Google color wheels. I've got lots of them in the studio that I use. I'll just nip and get one up there. And here we go. Here's a color wheel. I use it a lot with my clients. Okay, so what you're going to do with a color wheel, I've got this funny blur thing on. What you're going to do is look at the opposites. So see here, this is browns, okay? Opposite is these goldeny colors. So say you've got dark eyes, you're going to wear like your golds and a little bit of orange and a little bit of lemon in there just to make that pop. Now, say for example, you've got green eyes verging onto blue, greeny blue, these are your colours. So over here, this lady here has got a little bit of pink plummy colour in her eyeshadow. You don't have to go strong with it. You just need to pull a little bit of that out and it will bring the depth of the eye colour that you want out there. So do the opposite colour to you. Research colour wheels, and at the end of the day, if you've got brown eyes, you're going to wear your golds and your oranges, and if you've got blues and green eyes, then you're going to go for your pinks and your oranges. So that's the opposite. Make sure it's a flat colour, meaning not highly pearlized, because again, if the eyeshadow is too strong, you're just going to look straight at the eyeshadow rather than your eye. Now let's talk about eyebrows. Say your eyebrows. I know I've got good eyebrows, so eyebrows are to me. Now what we don't want to do here is do tons of eyebrow stuff, because if we do that, what's going to happen is you're going to mask and cover up that beautiful eyebrow that you've got. So what you want to do is make it stand out. First thing you need to do is go and get your eyebrows tinted. Then your hairs will stand out more. It will probably cost in the region of, I don't know, £5 to £10 every 4 weeks. But I guarantee, even with that makeup on, your eyebrows going to look amazing. And what I'd recommend you do is get one of these. These are my £5 brow tools. And what you can do there is you can just take away the very, very fine hair that's around your eyebrow, and your actual brow will stand up. Your skin will look smoother. Eye colour, use this brush here. So these are my £5 brushes, flat eyeliner brushes, where you could just take your brown eyeshadow and incorporate that little bit of pink in there, which will make your eye stand out. You'll be amazed that, use a bit of blusher, that sort of reddy pinky blusher that you've got. Add a little bit in that to your eyeshadow. And as far as your eye shape's concerned, you're going to really work those lashes. So to get those lashes working really hard, put your mascara on and then make sure you comb it through with one of these are £5 brow brushes here. That £5 brow brush will make your mascara last longer and make your eyelashes stand out more. So just to basically say, if it's your eyes, if your eye shape, you need to go neutral but strong with eyeliner and mascara. And if it's your eye colour, to bring your eye colour out, use the opposite colour on a colour wheel to what your eyes are. Then we're going to talk lips. Lips is the one area that actually lip color is slightly irrelevant. Lip color really is down to your confidence. Lip color will obviously, a red lipstick is obviously going to stand out more than a neutral. But if you really want to promote the texture of your lips, or sorry, the shape of your lips, the golden rules here are lip gloss, very matte lipstick, and lip liners. And you can take any color that you want. But if you use any of those textures, the extreme textures, so very matte and very glossy, regardless whether you've got a red lipstick on or a neutral color lipstick on, like this one here, which is probably paler than the model's own lips, your lips will stand out. Now, if you don't want your lips to stand out, you're going to use not a shiny lip gloss and you're not going to use a lip liner. Don't forget, when we talk about features here, it's the things that you want to stand out. So lips, be bold with lip liners and lip glosses. Everybody highlights the cheekbones these days. And I tend to see too much of it. Basically, contouring, which is this here, is overdone. And it was done back in the day in film and TV when they wanted the actress or actor to basically look different. But what we do now, which is really sad, is we actually change our face shape, and some of us don't need to do it. I have high cheekbones. If I've got a lady, she's slim, she's got great cheekbones. If I come along with some contour, I'm going to make her look quite sort of like her head's like a skeleton. What we want to do is we want to make the cheeks look full and round, like this lady here. We don't want them to look overly done, but we just want them to look. I'm not saying I approve of her makeup, but basically at the end of the day, what I was really trying to highlight here was this was a picture that I just grabbed. Some of us have got these color palettes. Okay, so this is all about me trying to get you to use the stuff that you've already got. In these colour palettes here, you've got browns, pinks, corals, and a bit of highlighter. Just get your brush. So this is an EstherMarie big powder brush. So you don't want too much definition here. You've got cheekbones. We want to highlight them. We're not going to be using masses of highlighter and contour. That is for people who do not have cheekbones. If you have cheekbones, you want to make them look natural. Okay, that's the thing at the end of the day. So take one of these sets that you've got. I see hundreds of them. I've got hundreds of them in the museum here that people have left behind. Get your brush and just go all the way over it. Collect all those colours, pop it on. You can do the old fashioned, where you suck your cheeks in and put it on. But ultimately, if you want your cheekbones to stand out, you don't necessarily do contour because you've already got cheekbones. You're going to be working more with a blush element, so adding a bit of colouring to draw attention to that area. Now, if your skin is come back as that's your number one, people say, gosh, you've got fantastic skin. Again, keep it in good condition. Use one of my treatment oils. Best thing, everybody absolutely loves them, which is obviously down here, sneaky preview there of the new packaging. But basically, you're going to mix one of my treatment oils into your foundation, and your foundation is going to absolutely look gorgeous. It's going to go on beautifully. It's going to hydrate your skin, and you're going to basically look amazing with it. So that is how you're going to make your skin look good. You need to make it look hydrated is the main thing. So just to jump in there, just to finish it off, lips, if you love your lips, glossy or matte is your key. Doesn't matter what colour. If you love your cheekbones, don't reach for contour. Put your coloured blusher on to draw attention to your cheekbones. You don't need to contour. You've already got good cheekbones. And if you've got great skin, promote the hydration of it. Make it look glossy. Make it look smooth. If your skin wasn't in a good condition, if your skin was blemishy, open pores, those type of things, you wouldn't be necessarily highlighting it. But if you want to do that, then that's great. So let's just whiz on to another one. Step 4, practice and play. Something that at the end of the day, you don't do after the age of 13. I want you to experiment with different makeup looks. So we've gone through a process where we've identified what your best features are with either yourself or working with your friends. We've now identified the last two slides were how to promote those elements. You can watch it back and cover it. And your fourth step is basically, you now need to do it. So the only way you can do this is to play. You need to go back to not trying to do this when you're going out on a special occasion. You need to basically make sure you're doing this on a Sunday afternoon or a time when you're not going out. Get your friends round, have a session. I used to do loads of makeup parties and things like that. Absolutely love it. Crack a bottle of champagne open, a bubbly, have a girls' night in, go back to having fun again. And like the lady in the middle there, do something that none of you might even think of doing. I want you to basically put makeup on one side of your face and I want you to not put it on the other side of the face. And I want you to take a photo of yourself. And I want you to look at that picture and actually say to yourself, does your face look better now you've highlighted the makeup? Because sometimes, which I'll touch on in a minute, sometimes makeup can work against what you're trying to achieve. So that's where you can do corrective makeup, but we're not looking to correct here. What we're doing is making sure you've identified the features you like, and then we're going to highlight them. Also, ask what people say. Do it with a different eyeshadow colour, do it with a different eyeliner. See if people say, you've got an amazing eye colour. Now imagine that going out and you've put that little bit of pink eyeshadow on and people say, gosh, aren't your eyes green? Or you've put more mascara on and less coloured eyeshadow and people say, gosh, haven't you got gorgeous shaped eyes because they're not masked by makeup anymore? So leading into what I've just said, here on over this side, okay, I've tried to pick a picture where I could probably say this lady over here in future years is going to look like this. Here we have the eyeliner effect, okay? Now with your eyeliner effect, what's going to happen is you're going to be using that every single day. You're going to be putting it on and not noticing that your eye shape has changed. But in a blink of an eye, you'll look in the mirror when you're about 50 and you'll go, where's the eyeliner gone? So you need to constantly keep reassessing your eye makeup or your makeup in general. Once you've identified your features when you're 14, when you're 44, they will be different. Your skin may well be the thing in your 40s that's the best asset. You might find out when you're 60 that your eyes go lighter and they're a lighter blue. So people notice that your eyes more. Keep reassessing these key features of yours and doing things differently. And in particular, be mindful that our skin changes as we get older. So just because we are making more of our eye shape because it's our eye that we love, as you get older, that same eyeliner will just completely disappear and you won't be able to see it. A couple of thumbs up there on YouTube. Give us a wave, give us a like. It's very kind of you. So let's move on to the question and answer session. I'll leave that picture on there that you can see. One of the questions that I get asked is about pearlescence. Now, it doesn't matter whether we're talking key features here or not. I really want you to be careful with pearlescence. Pearlescence doesn't give any definition, and that's the sparkly bits that you get in eyeshadow. What pearlescence can tend to do is it tends to leach and tends to sort of like move and fall into different places. So be really careful when you're thinking about doing those kind of things. You're better off using matte. That means products that haven't got any pearlescence in them. If you've got a lot of pearly products, a good thing that you can do to use them, because I'm always saying to people to do things, mix it with a bit of body lotion, dust them all over your body. As you get older, pearly products, as you can see here, I'll try and make this a little bit bigger. Even the most natural of products, you see here, it gathers. So pearlescence is not your friend as you get older. And to be honest with you, pearlescence is very rarely a friend, but be very, very careful how you use it. I want to show you this picture here. This is a picture that you could say isn't airbrushed, but my God, does that skin look amazing. It could have a filter on it or what have you, but the chances of somebody having that absolute beautiful, perfect skin, I've probably seen about twice in my years of seeing over probably the best part of 20 to 30,000 people to do with makeup. This is very, very good skin. And I don't want you all to think that you all look like this, because at the end of the day, you know who you are. Those clients of mine who grab the magnifying mirror to put their makeup on, especially as you get older, because your eyesight changes. So when you reach for the magnifying mirror, guess what? You can put your eyelashes on, you can put your eyeliner on, but your skin, I know, is going to look a lot worse. Now, I want you to watch this back again in your own time, because we've done really well speeding through it and got all the things. But what I want you to do is let me see how I can help you. I've got a few more questions that I got sent in advance that I'm going to cover. But if you go onto this part of my website, so I've got two, I've got esthermarie.co.uk and I've got beautymindset.co.uk /3 easy steps. What I've done in there, if you take step one, it's completely free, and step two is, which is these beauty lives. If you take step one, it's a quiz, and when you go through this quiz, it's going to ask you some questions. At the end of asking these questions, it comes to me, to my inbox. And what I can do is give you some feedback, completely free of charge. I can give you some feedback and point you in the right direction of where to go. It could be that I'm thinking perhaps you've got a great understanding about brands, and perhaps you've got a great understanding about what you need. But when you ask the question about how many products you've got, it could be that you've just got too many products. So we need to focus on making sure I'm going to help you how to use those products without you going and buying more. If all of this feels like you just want to go straight to me helping you, of course, the third option that I do is the session that you have with me, which is 3 hours long. And basically, I know you're going to think 3 hours, what I'm going to cover in 3 hours. 3 hours, I'm going to go through some pictures of you, how you used to be in the past. I'm going to go through some pictures of you, how you would like to look. I'm going to look at all of your makeup. I'm going to go through it all. Then we're going to go into some practical sessions. And anyone who's had any time with me will know that time just goes very, very quickly. So go to that beautymindset.co.uk, 3 easy steps, and I can help you. The next question I've got on here, which basically was asked, and it's come up a couple of times, is regarding when you've got puffy eyes, how should you correct them? Now, again, this question is not necessarily to do with this particular video. That's called corrective makeup. What I'm looking to do here is basically look at people and kind of go, I want to highlight my best features. But let me touch on it. The last thing you want to do, if you think you've got puffy eyes, you shouldn't be linking makeup and puffy eyes together. Because when you've got something that you don't like, why are you drawing attention to it by wearing makeup? Makeup tends to draw attention to it unless you're very good with textures and colours, in which case you can blur things. But 99% of time, if you haven't got the confidence to do this, if you really focus on covering the darkness underneath your eye, the puffiness, you will draw more attention to it. So what I really want you to do is take away from your key features tonight is I want you to understand that you really have to work out, you really have to find something that you really like about yourself, and do not focus on the things you don't like about yourself, which tends to be the second thing. The question that I've been asked on the live chat is about matte lipsticks, and I've got one client who's talking to me about matte lipsticks and trying to understand that when you have matte lipsticks, you need to understand that they can be very, very drying. So do be careful. If it was me, I'd opt for the glossier ones. So a couple of things just before I finish off. I wanted to share some lovely news with you, and you will start to hear me talk about this a little bit more. Before I jump on about the next month's session, I've got some news for you about the stories from my makeup chairs. Charts I've put there. It's supposed to say chairs. So you'll remember it now. It's called Stories from the Makeup Chairs, not charts. Ultimately, at the end of the day, my makeup chairs have been used for many, many years, and they are now going to be my podcast, if you like, scene. My makeup chairs will be there and I will be sitting on them with a guest. And the first 5 episodes is going to be all about me. So can't wait to share how I'm going to continue using those. And for those of you who have been watching my progress with regards to me rebranding my treatment oils, they've changed a little bit from this, but they're not far off what I've been working on over the last year, which is regards to changing the name of them and giving them more information and also changing the colour. So I can't wait to share those two things with you. And finally, just as we wrap up now, so I've tried to keep it nice and short this month. The next Beauty Live session is about glamorous party and evening makeup. It's on Friday, 6th of December between 8 and 9%, not 9%, 9 p.m. And you can join me live on the YouTube channel. Again, thanks for all the hearts and the likes. You're all very, very kind. This video will sit on here to watch with the other series so you can follow. But the key thing about it is watch all these beauty live sessions, build up your knowledge about makeup, reach out to me, book me for a session. That would be amazing because that's how I fund all of these things. But I hope you'll like my YouTube channel and you'll keep watching these live sessions. And I hope I bring you lots of knowledge and give you lots of confidence to use your makeup. And more importantly, maximize the products that are inside your makeup bag. I think that's it. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.